So now you might be thinking, what the fuck, how am I not dead yet? Well, the human body is amazing. And here's a simple way you could think about all this, because who wants to remember all the phthalates, all the sources of phthalates? Who wants to remember all the BPA sources? Who wants to remember every single endocrine disrupting chemical and every source? And we're going back to the whole theme of this course, this whole new lifestyle you're starting to lose the weight and get healthy and keep it off long term. You're now nourished by nature. So how do we think of this? With light, we're looking at no artificial light, things like sunlight, things like fire. With EMF, we want to get back into nature. It's a low EMF environment and then you could ground. With nutrition, same type of thing. The less variables, the better. We want it local. First, it's gonna be way more nutritious. You're gonna support the farmers. So how do we even think about this? The less it's transported, the less ingredients there are. You wanna stick to single food ingredients and then combine them to make a meal. So your egg, your steak, your avocado, whatever it may be. Have that. Don't have all those three prepackaged for you in plastic, processed in some factory with a bunch of preservatives, artificial dyes, etc. You want to get as close to the source of the food as you can. Minimize everything, pesticides, everything we just talked about. So now if you're broke, let's see what we want to prioritize quality-wise. The first thing is we don't want anything GMO that's glyphosate ready. The most sprayed things are corn, soybeans, canola, cottonseed, sugar, modern grains, bananas, and papaya. These things we want to look for some sort of organic alternative. Sugar cane is a little different. That doesn't have glyphosate typically. The second thing is that Dirty Dozen we talked about earlier. Buy those organic. And third is animal products. So with animal products, you want to make sure you get the highest quality because one, they're the most nutrient dense food. And if they're pasture raised or if it's wild caught or if it's grass fed, the nutrients in this food are gonna be like 2 to 5 times higher. So when you're thinking about buying quality products, it's not about just avoiding toxins. The actual nourishment you're gonna get that's gonna help you detox a lot of this stuff is gonna be way higher. So dairy, grass-fed raw is best. Pasteurized raised eggs are gonna be nutrient powerhouses. Grass-fed meat and organs, especially organs. Do not skimp on these. Because a lot of the organs you eat, like liver, the kidneys, they're gonna be detox organs. And if that cow is raised in shit and has a bunch of heavy metal, you're just eating it. And you're gonna do more harm to yourself than good. And I know this is like, where do I start? Where do I start? I put out all the first steps for you. What I would do, the very basics, everything with the highest ROI to avoid all these things first. Okay, so what are the first steps in everything we've covered with endocrine disrupting chemicals? Here is what you want to do. The first thing to do and prioritize is getting back into nature. We're not biohacking our house. We're going back to how it's supposed to be and getting those benefits of sunlight, getting those benefits of low EMF and grounding, lower stress, everything we've covered earlier. The second most important thing you're going to want to do is get a water filter. Now this is a more costly purchase, but you're going to be drinking water the rest of your life, and the only thing you have to do with these is change the cartridges, and these are not as expensive and they last quite long. The third thing you want to do is get a shower filter. The cheap one is a good entryway. It's probably around 30-40 bucks. Start to filter the water you wash yourself with. Next is make sure you're avoiding as much plastic as you can. All those things we talked about earlier. One thing people don't realize is polyester is literally plastic. So stop wearing all polyester. Now this is going to be hard. You have to replace your whole closet, but the two things that matter most is your underwear and your bedding, the stuff you sleep in. Make sure those are natural fibers. Next, you're detoxing your kitchen. Your cookware is what you're actually using to make the food. So if the cookware is bad, the toxins are going to end up in the food. So for pots and pans, we're going with the stainless steel, cast iron, glass, or ceramic. With the utensils, we're using wood, stainless steel, or silicone. Eating single ingredient foods, remember, processing, transport, all that stuff just increases the amount of endocrine disrupting chemicals that end up in your food. You're buying local organic goods. Not only is it gonna lower the toxins in your food, it's gonna 2 to 5x the nutrition in your food. So it's a double whammy. It's worth the bang for your buck. We're avoiding GMO, Dirty Dozen, and we're buying great animal product. Personal skincare, you wanna slowly swap out what you're using to more minimal ingredient stuff. I'm going to be uploading my personal skincare routine and the products I use in the near future. It's probably up if you're watching this late, but I've provided those databases for skincare and cleaning products. Browse the products, see what you like, see what's available for you. And last but not least, the other big purchase you're going to want to make is an air filter. Especially if you spend a lot of time inside, all those endocrine disrupting chemicals, they end up in the air. Things like mold especially, which we didn't really touch on, but air filters will lower the amount of mold you're exposed to. I've provided some low EMF options, so see what makes sense for you. These are the first steps we're gonna implement in avoiding toxins. If you need any guidance, show up to the weekly Q&As and just let me know, or shoot me a message, or just make a post under the feedback and questions of this course. Do not be shy, guys, okay? Don't be shy.